Hello children, welcome back. Today we will continue with Unit 1.5, The Necklace, Part 1. So children, let's read the passage. The day of the party drew near and Madame Loisel seemed sad, restless, anxious, though her dress was ready. One evening, her husband said to her, "What's the matter? You have been acting strange these last 3 days." She replied, "I am upset that I have no jewels, not a single stone to wear. I would rather not go to the party." "You could wear flowers," he said. "They are very fashionable at this time of the year." She was not convinced. The next day, she went to her friend's house and told her of her distress. Madame Forestier went to her mirrored wardrobe, took out a large box, brought it back, opened it, and said to Madame Loisel, "Choose, my dear." So children, let's see the meanings. Anxious means nervous. Distress means sorrow. Wardrobe means cupboard. So children, now I'll begin with the explanation. Now, there were only a few days remaining for the party that Matilda was still unhappy with something, even though her dress was ready. One evening, her husband asked her that now what was the problem. She said that although she had a pretty dress, but she did not have a single jewel to wear with it. Loisel advised her to wear flowers, as it was in fashion, but still she was not convinced with it. She felt that she would look poor with no jewels on her with the pretty dress. She felt that it would be humiliating to stand in front of other rich women without any jewelry. The next day, she went to her friend's house, that is, Madame Forestier's house, and told her all about her problem. So, Madame Forestier went to her cupboard and took out a large box and opened it and told Matilda to choose any jewelry that she likes. So children, let's read the next passage. First, Matilda saw some bracelets, then a pearl necklace. She tried on the jewelry in the mirror. She kept asking, "You have nothing else?" "Why, yes, but I don't know what you like." Suddenly, she discovered in a black satin box a superb diamond necklace, and her heart began to beat with uncontrolled desire. Her hands trembled as she took it. She fastened it around her neck and stood lost in ecstasy as she looked at herself. Then she asked anxiously, hesitating, "Would you lend me this? Just this?" "Why, yes, of course." She threw her arms around her friend's neck rapturously, then fled with her treasure. The day of the party arrived. Madame Loisel was a success. She was prettier than all the other women, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. She danced wildly, with passion, forgetting everything in the triumph of her beauty and success, floating in a cloud of happiness. So children, let's see the meanings. Ecstasy means joyful excitement. Rapturously means with great joy. Elegant means graceful. So children, now I'll begin with the explanation. Matilda first saw some bracelets and tried on the jewelry in the mirror. She kept on asking if Madame Forestier had any other jewelry. So she said, "I have a lot of jewelry," but she didn't know what Matilda liked. Suddenly, Matilda spotted a black satin box in which was a diamond necklace. She loved that necklace so much that she couldn't put her hands off it. She tried the necklace on herself and saw in the mirror how beautiful she looked in it. Then she asked her friend if she could borrow that diamond necklace. Her friend readily said yes. So Matilda was so happy that she hugged Madame Forestier and went home with the necklace. The day of the party arrived, and Matilda looked prettier than all other women. She was full of joy and was always smiling. She danced wildly. She had forgotten about everything else. She was so happy that she looked so beautiful and that other people were jealous of her beauty. She was extremely happy. Okay, children, let's read this passage. Matilda and her friend left at about 4 o'clock in the morning. When they were finally in the street, they could not find a cab. They walked down towards the scene till they found one. They were dropped off at their door in the Rue des Martyrs, and sadly it was all over for her. In front of the mirror, she took a final look at herself in all her glory. But suddenly she uttered a cry. She no longer had the necklace round her neck. "What is the matter?" asked her husband. She turned around him, panic-stricken. I no longer have Madame Forestier's necklace." He stood up, distraught. "What? How? That's impossible." So children, let's see the meaning. Panic-stricken, with a sudden feeling of fear. Distraught means worried or disturbed. So children, I'll begin with the explanation. Matilda and her husband left the party at 4 o'clock in the morning. They were not able to find any taxi. They walked ahead towards the river Seine, and then they found one taxi which dropped them at their door. Now Matilda was sad, as all the attention she was getting was all over. The party was also over, and now she will have to live the same old poor life. She went inside the house and had a final look at herself at the mirror, with the dress and the necklace. But as she looked at the mirror, she saw that the necklace wasn't there round her neck. She panicked and shouted loudly. Her husband asked her now what had happened. She turned around him with sudden feeling of fear and told him that Madame Forestier's necklace was lost. Loisel got worried and asked her where and how. "Did you lose it? As it's impossible." So children, we will stop here for today. We have completed with the necklace story part 1. The part 2 of it will be explained in the next video.